What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Rehinged Diaries podcast with your host, Ali Karza. Today, I have probably one of my favorite guests of all time. Is my best friend, Vanessa.
It's me.
Girl, speak into the mic.
It's me, you guys.
I'm so excited because, as you guys know, for people who keep up with the podcast, I had my cousin on the last podcast, or not too long ago, and she was very shy, very reserved, and you're the last person on planet Earth to ever be reserved. Like, you're a yapper like me, for sure. I feel like the audience is gonna love you. They're gonna be like, "Bitch, Brenda's her. Where's she at? Where's Vanessa? We need her back. We need her back."
I'm always here. Okay.
They're gonna be begging for you to come back. I just know it. So with all that being said, for those who are aware how I like to go about my episodes, I like to talk about the peaks and pits of our week. And for today's episode topic, we are going to be talking about our friendship and how we keep our long-term friendship going and the ups and downs that we had. But of course, let's talk about our peaks and pits of the week. So what would you say is your pit of the week? Like, what is the worst, shittiest thing that happened?
So, you guys, I'm a mom. This is my first time being a mom. Oh my God. Who would have thought me? Okay, so the mom life is great. Let me say, right now I'm not getting as much sleep, but Celsius, sponsor me. You have been helping a lot, okay? My baby, I'm still learning her sleep pattern, so that's my pit of the week, but she's cute, so it makes it worth it. You know what I mean?
I bet.
Yeah, with all her hair.
What's your favorite flavor for Celsius?
I would definitely say the tropical vibes because
the blue one, or is it the peach one?
It's like the peach one, yeah.
Oh, the peach one.
It's this tropical vibe. I don't know what flavor it is.
Because I know there's the peach one and there's the blue one.
Okay, yeah, they have a couple flavors.
Right.
The tropical vibes, because I'm a little Caribbean. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because for those who keep up with me, you would know that I work overnight, so I know Celsius. She's my bestie.
Girl.
She helps me through those days.
Forget a Monster. Get a Celsius.
Yes, because Monster has so much sugar. That's how I got fat. But then Celsius, that's how I started snatching up.
I feel like Celsius, it makes you feel better once you drink it. I don't know, Monster, it makes you, you're up, but it makes you feel sluggish in the same time.
There's so much sugar.
It feels bad internally when you finish drinking it.
Right. But then when it comes to a Celsius, I feel energized, and it does make you sweat. Do you feel like you sweat?
Sweat with Celsius?
Because it boosts up your metabolism.
I wouldn't say that, but then I don't really sweat much.
But then I work out and I move around a lot.
Oh, so. Girl, I'm about to lazy pig. If you know me, I don't move.
But as you should, you're a mom. Yeah, that's a full-time job.
Yeah, gotta love it. Do not recommend.
Oh, so
unless you're ready.
Of course. So, what would you say is your peak of the week? Because then we'll go on to me.
Okay, so my peak of the week. We went out tonight, so I love it.
She took me out to this nice restaurant in the casinos, and it was really nice. And I actually had a really good time. There's this old man. Girl, we were both manifesting for this old man to pay for our freaking dinner. And the fact, y'all, I kid you not, he took a picture of us because he's like, "Oh my God, you guys look so cute." And Vanessa had to beg him for those pictures. He did not
want to send us those pictures. So I thought when he said he'll take a picture of us, I thought he was going to grab our phones and take the photo. He brought out his camera and was like, "Oh, geez." And I'm like...
we both look cute, and he was trying to hold those pictures hostage.
I asked this man after he took the photos,
and he ignored
"Can you send those to me?" And he was like, "No comment, crickets the whole time." And if you guys hear my voice, it's loud. It's loud. You might even want to turn it down a little bit.
If you think I'm loud, why do you think she's my best friend?
Oh my
we're
gosh.
both two peas in a pod. But it's just so crazy because the first time you asked, you're like, "Can you send us the pictures?" He ignored you. And it was the second time you asked, I was looking at him, and I think he got uncomfortable because he was like, "Oh shit." I actually had to send these pictures.
And you know what's so funny? At the end, the very end, he's having troubles with his own bill with the waiter.
He was being very iffy with the server.
Ew. Boy, if you don't just leave the tip.
Right. Because it was really interesting because you and I walked in there and we both initially wanted to go to the bar. But that's when we saw the bar was very packed and we saw this old man sitting by himself. So we're like, let's join
sit
him.
with him. Big mistake. Because then
the least you could, because then he's going to sit there and be like, "Thank you guys for joining me." Are we going to get rewarded for joining you?
He didn't pay for nothing. Not one drink. He kept telling us about this damn creme brulee. creme brulee.
It's like, are you gonna pay for it? Do we look like we got creme brulee money?
Like he was like, you should sample it. If you don't get us a creme brulee, don't tell us about the sample. Get us the creme brulee.
Right. It's just so men are sass. Even the old men, girl. We can't run. We can't escape it.
Like, honestly, I was like upset for him. Like,
what were you upset about?
How can you act like this? Like, you see these two young girls. Oh, let me get these photos. You know, you would think just like asking for photos and all that, keeping conversation with us, ha ha, you know. And you stayed longer. I feel like he had his meals like way before us because he didn't order no entrees. He was on dessert, so I feel like he stayed longer just to talk to us. And then no offer. Like, oh my gosh, you're the worst date. If you see this, you're the worst date.
Yes, and if you see this directly to you.
Oh my gosh.
It was just so weird. Like, I really thought he would have sat there and like been more of a gentleman. But the fact that he was just listening to our conversation the whole time, taking pictures of us and try to hold it hostage, and the least you could do was offer to pay for at least a drink.
And then he didn't ask for just one photo. He got two.
And he sent me a picture of his food. He sent me a picture of his food because that's when he was like, oh, I said, can you send us the pictures? He's like, well, then I would need your number. And then you looked at me, you're like, Ali.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fine for me. That's fine. And I gave him my number. And then he started sending me hella pictures of like his food. I didn't ask for that because you didn't even pay for our food.
Like, why would we want pictures of your food? We see what you got. You're over here recommending it to us. Why not get us what you got?
Right.
So we all can figure out how good the creme brulee tastes.
He kept recommending the creme brulee, but refusing to pay for our creme brulee. That is so big. Like, men, they have nothing but the audacity.
He was a big ick. And like, for someone who's like, I would say, on estimate, I would say he's like 75. 75 on a good day.
Old.
On a
he's
good day.
old, y'all.
Maybe on a
He
good
said
day.
on a good day.
Like, he had the full white, like, not gray, just white hair. White hair. Like, I don't see no mix of gray.
Wrinkles.
Yeah, so I would say 75. Isn't that like those type of men, like 75? Aren't they like used to back in the day treating the females and all that?
We didn't see a ring on the finger. Now we know why.
I see.
We know why.
I see. Broken.
Yes. It was just so unfortunate. But it was fun and we made it fun.
Well, I still had fun.
Right. I had so much fun. The drinks, the first set of drinks were not good.
So
we got I got a pomegranate mojito.
And I got the pomegranate martini.
Not good.
No, it was, I don't know what it was. I would give it like a
flavor.
6.
I would give
6.
it I would give it a 6. That's
6.
accurate. Because it's not disgusting where you're spitting it out, but it was like not good.
Do you think it's because it was pomegranate?
That's what I think.
Because I feel like maybe if it was like I don't know, an apple martini or something, it would probably taste better. I think the fact it was
apple martini sounds good. Yes.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
But a pomegranate, like I think that's what it was because our second set of drinks were phenomenal.
Oh my gosh.
Because I forgot what we got.
You got like a monarch.
I got a monarch margarita, and then you got that French.
A fla something. If you guys find the name,
you know if it sounds
below.
fancy, it's good. If it sounds it's French, it's good.
It was so good, it got me saying flat. The flat. Can I get some flat? It was really good.
So good though. The second set of drinks hit.
Right. It was like a pina colada without like the colada, if that makes sense.
It was the vibe.
Yeah.
When you looked at the drink, it was giving like a pina colada vibe, like tropical.
It tastes like a Miami Vice. If you guys ever had a Miami Vice, which I recommend, it's really good. It tastes like a Miami Vice, but like pineapple-y.
Yes, I agree. It was so good. But I feel like that was like the highlight. The food. The tacos I had, they were decent.
This girl can eat, but did I want to eat there? Is the question. I mean, like the food, I would say, like, but I've ate there a couple times. But I feel like over the years, it just wasn't given. Like,
it was.
I had the firecracker shrimp. There was no shrimp whatsoever.
I tried the piece of the shrimp. It was good, but not like phenomenal.
Where's the firecracker?
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Like,
you're right.
Because
it was just like standard shrimp. That's what it tasted like.
It wasn't tasting like how it used to.
I never
barely
tried
ate that. What else did I get? The calamari was good. I love calamari. You know, calamari is really good, real crunchy.
Right.
They mix vegetables and add that little flour on it, make it crispy too. You know, I don't like people playing with my food. I want it just all calamari. I don't like vegetables, but hey, I see how they, you know, incorporate it in that into the dish. It was nice. It was nice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Overall, it was such a good time.
How'd you like your tacos?
The tacos, I would rate it, if it was a scale from 1 to 10, I'd rate it like a 7. Because it was not like fresh and warm.
Okay.
But it was good. Well, whatever contained in it, like the avocado and the chicken, like it was good in there, but it just wasn't fresh. That was my only complaint. I feel like if it was fresh, it would have tasted better, but that's my only complaint.
Okay. Nothing's fresh nowadays.
It's annoying.
In this economy,
they better pick it up if they want our money. Like, but overall, that was that. So you say that was your peak?
Yeah, I would definitely say that was my peak.
All right, so now going on to me, my pit this week, I would say it's just I was really exhausted. Like I feel like I've been trying to lose weight, so it's been very frustrating because working overnights and trying to lose weight's really really difficult because I'm already like trying to like wake up and like go about my day, trying to do my even simple self-care routine like skincare, brushing my teeth, and then trying to get some steps in because when you work overnights, it's not for the weak. It's really not for the weak.
It makes you feel better about brushing your teeth. It took me a couple, like sometimes I miss it for 2 days. Being a mom,
you're a mother.
It's hard. You start smelling your own breath and you're like, dang, how long has it been? And you forget. So
I feel like a lot of people can relate to that though.
It's
like as a mother, you have an excuse.
Yeah.
But I don't got a baby.
But then it's like it's not an excuse because I feel like even though you're a mom, you should always keep room for yourself, like take care of yourself. Absolutely. Because if you don't take care of yourself, how can you be the best mom?
Absolutely. Those listening
or
watching.
But then you can't be the best mom with 2-day-old breath.
The baby gonna be like, ugh.
Sometimes she give me that look.
She's like, Mommy, don't kiss me again. Like, don't kiss me. Oh my God, that's so cute. Like, I would say that's the only pit that I had this week. It wasn't that bad of a week. But the peak I would say that I had, besides today, because today was really fun. Last weekend, I went on a date. I went on a date with the old guy that I mentioned to you.
Okay.
So we met on Bumble, and I think I told you how I completely embarrassed myself, you guys.
I wouldn't say you embarrassed yourself.
I love her because she like feeds into my delusions.
I feel like it went how it was supposed to go. It gives you more to talk about.
It was fun, but in the beginning I started off rough.
How did it start off rough?
So let me get the listeners or the viewers some context. So what happened was we were supposed to meet at this Italian restaurant. I wasn't aware that there was 2 locations.
It sounds better the second time.
Yes. So like there was 2 different locations, and the location that was closest to me was like 20 minutes. So I was under the impression that was the location he was referencing, which I really feel dumb in hindsight looking back to the messages. I'm like, he literally told me verbatim which location, but my dumbass.
But you guys, keep in mind, it was 2 locations with the same name. I mean,
she's like, you ever see those memes like 2 delusional bitches saying, yes. Like, you're like feeding my delusions. I live for it.
But the thing is, he couldn't get mad. There's like other locations with that same name. You know, that's like saying, yo, Allie, meet me at Applebee's at 6 o'clock.
Oh, there's like
4 Applebee's. So I can
see. But he sent me exactly the one we were supposed to go
like, maybe when you're like excited, you're like, okay, he said Applebee's 6 o'clock. You know, you're not thinking about that. You're just hopping in your vehicle and you're like, all right, I gotta get there.
Right.
You know, so I feel like it's, you know, I mean, like, you got there. It's not the right address, you know, but it still counts. It still counts.
Right. So basically what happened, you guys, is I show up and I start gaslighting him. I'm like, you stood me up. Where are you? Because Vanessa, I was waiting like 20 minutes. And he's like, I'm here. And he's like, I'm in the... He's like, I'm in the front. Where are you? I was like, I'm in the front. Where are you?
He's probably like, where is she? Where is she?
Right. He's like, I don't see you. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm gaslighting the poor guy. I was like, I'm here. Did you stood me up? Are you like fucking? Because you know when someone would be like, I'm here, and they're probably not. They're like standing you up. So that's what I assumed. And he's like, what location are you at? He's like, the White Horse Pike. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's a different location. And I checked my location. I'm in the wrong one. And I'm like, and that's what I called you. I was like, Vanessa. I was like, I'm so embarrassed
right now. She
didn't
even want to continue the date because she felt like she embarrassed herself. I don't think so. I think it makes more conversation for the date.
You think so? It was embarrassed because for me, I'm like, he probably thinks I'm an idiot.
I don't think it's embarrassing, but you know, to each its own.
Right.
I feel like it's cute. Like maybe, like honestly, if I was the guy, I'd be like, oh, look, she chose the wrong location. She was probably like so excited. Like, she probably just jumped in the car and she was like 2 minutes late and was like, all right, whatever. Gotta get there.
Right.
Because, you know, if you think about it, when you put it in your GPS, like the actual restaurant, it's
just
going to
goes.
show you the closest one. So you're probably not thinking, oh man, he said it at this street or this, you know, this city. So I get it.
Right.
I get it.
Right, for sure. But yeah, overall, you guys, we figured it out. And that's when he said he was going to drive to me, which I liked. Because he was like, okay, I'm going to drive to you right now.
See,
you're only
he's
20 minutes away.
to keep the date going.
Right.
Like that.
Because when I was talking to my coworker, my guy best friend about it, he's like, you forced the poor guy? I'm like, first of all, I didn't force anyone.
That's such a strong word.
Right. Because I'm like, he sat there and said, I'm going to meet up with you. Because he could have sat there and I really thought he was going to bail. Because he had every right to. He could have been like, bitch, you really chose the wrong location, you idiot.
I don't think it was enough to bail.
You know, men these days are sassy.
They are.
But he was such a gentleman. He's like, I'll drive to you right now. He drove to me. And then immediately, because it was a booth, so we went into the booth. And that's when we're talking, having a little chit chat. The one thing I would say is the most attractive thing, which I feel like now my standards are getting higher because I want every man.
We love that. Go higher. Go higher.
Period.
Go to the sky.
Right.
Go to the sky.
The sky's the limit. You know, there's. So one thing I would say. So one thing I would say is like, I realized that I really wanted men to do this more is when we got served our appetizers, he cut my appetizers and served it to me.
What?
Like, name a man that does that. Exactly.
Look, I'm married with a man. Look, he don't even do that for me.
Right, like he sat there.
What?
We got our appetizers and he served it to me because you know you get little plates first. And he served me my appetizer. We're talking, chatting up a storm. One thing I will say is that like a lot of men, especially that are rich, now that people that keep up with the podcast, you know I dealt with a lot of brookies. My standards were to the fucking hell. The pits of fire of hell. But now my standards are high. I want a rich man that's a provider, got his shit together. I would say a lot of men that are rich and established like to talk about themselves. But him, he like I feel like it was very like balanced. Like he liked talking about himself, so I got to know a lot about him. But then he also was very interested in like, what do you do for work? Oh my god, like my everyday, my interests. We were just chatting up a storm.
Oh, that's nice.
So it was really, really good. And him serving me my food. We got our fucking actual meal, and he grabbed the plate. Like he's grabbing the plate immediately and
Imagine
serving me.
having a waiter and then someone else that's like serving you as well.
Right. I didn't even think about it like that.
That'll make me
I didn't even think about it like that. It was just
like,
it was such a like.
It's giving such like masculinity because like,
right.
like what do you want to eat? And then like you tell him what you want, and then he's like, I'll order for you, and like the waiter comes in.
Yes, that's the one thing I love when a man does is whenever we're on a date and then we finally figure out what we're gonna eat, and that's when the server's like, okay, what are you guys gonna have? He speaks for me. She's gonna have that, and I'm gonna have this.
Love it. I love it.
Because I love a guy that
you don't even have to say anything.
Yes, I could just sit and look pretty.
That's how it should be.
I love it. It was so much fun. We talked a lot. We literally talked to the point where the restaurant was closing. We were the last people there.
See, that's a vibe.
So yes, and that's when immediately he's like, I need to see you again. He's like, you're so fun to talk to. We have so many stories to unlock. And that's when we're going to see each other tomorrow. So I'm really, so next episode.
I better hear something about this. I can't wait. You guys going to have to wait. But
she will know the moment I'm like literally driving off the restaurant. Yes, I'm really excited.
So what kind of food are you guys going to get into this time?
I don't know, because he said he's going to choose a restaurant. We did Italian, so who knows?
Okay.
I don't know. What do you suggest?
Let me see.
I don't know, because I feel like a guy should always take charge, but like I don't know if I should like.
I don't know. Like that's very hard. Yeah, I don't know. Italian, like how do you go from there? Yeah.
Right, Italian is good.
Because
I don't want to say Mexican. Is Mexican like romantic? Because I love Mexican food.
I feel like that's like more like a friend. Like
right.
Remember that one place we went to? What's it called? Tacos.
Tacos with cheese. We went together.
No. El Patron. Remember that was a vibe.
That was so much fun.
Their food was good. So like, yeah, when it comes to like Mexican food, I think that's more like a friendship vibe. Like you go with your friends and stuff.
Yeah, a kiki.
Or like, you know, a date that happened way many times. Like, you know, so many times.
It's been so much.
And then like, yeah, that's just a little extra. Right. I wouldn't say that would be like a second date type of thing.
Right.
I would say like, I don't know.
I'll just see. He's gonna choose.
Maybe a steakhouse.
Ooh.
I like steak.
I do like steak too.
Steak's good.
How do you like your steak?
So I'm not a well done person. If you like it well done, like you're hard.
I used to.
You're hard.
But then I used to, period. Used to, but now I like medium well.
Like, girl, do you like it? Like you
because they used to burn. That's why I hated it.
Oh my gosh!
Because I don't like seeing too much pink.
You can feel the ashes in your mouth, like that burntness. Like, girl, you're eating rocks. You're eating rocks.
Right.
Even with sauce, steak sauce, that's nasty.
Right.
Oh my gosh! So how do you eat it again?
I eat medium well.
Okay, same here.
So because back then I used to do like, I just didn't like pink. But there was a lot of places I went to and I started realizing that whenever I asked for like, well done, that bitch, I felt like I was eating into a rock.
Burnt.
There was no juice.
You put your fork in and you can't put the knife in. Just the fork and you're stabbing it.
So that's when I started doing medium well and I realized, okay.
Have you ever tried it any other type of like temperature? Well, like whatever.
My supervisor says she loves it rare.
Okay.
She says she wants to almost like bite into the damn cow. I'm like, girl.
Why my dumb ass. When I thought, excuse me for the language, excuse me.
Profanity's welcome here.
Okay, so I think this was at Morton Steakhouse. Tell me why I told this lady I want a medium rare steak. So I wasn't thinking. I don't ever eat medium rare. Girl, when I tell you I was on that toilet for the whole day the next day, tell me why that steak was like $70. I tried to cook it right back on the stove. I tried to cook it back on the stove and eat it. I was still shitting. I said, I gotta throw it out.
Oh,
so
no.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Like, I don't know. I thought, like, I wasn't thinking, I was like, medium rare. Like, girl, I do not eat rare. I eat medium well, but I wasn't thinking at that time. You know,
rare? Because I've never tried it. Well, how did it taste?
Girl, it tasted okay, but like it's more that pink, and you can see it a little bit. But I was like, maybe this is how they eat out there.
Did it season it good?
It was seasoned good.
Okay, so that was good at least. So just the after.
Yeah, I didn't realize until like when I tell you I had the bubble guts,
the bubblies,
bubble guts,
the bubblies.
And girl, like diarrhea. It was to the point it was bubble guts, diarrhea, and then the next day I was
so
like,
you blew up the bathroom.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh,
definitely.
Holding them to the like bathroom walls.
Like I wouldn't say all that. I had to try to pull my legs up a little bit. Get it really moving.
That's the worst when you're so much pain you have to lift the legs up.
Girl.
I've been there.
Tum wasn't going to save
Tums.
me.
Oh my god.
It was not going to save me. And then my dumb ass was like, let me just cook it a little more. Let me just try to cook it again. I tried to eat it again. I didn't even finish it. I was like, yeah, this is not working. And then I was shitting again.
Oh no.
But I'm not saying their food isn't great. Just don't be dumb like me. I feel like do you know what? I was feeling anxiety. Like when the waiters come to you and you're like,
you gotta order?
Yeah, Like, so I felt a little anxiety and I wasn't remembering like how I get my steak.
Because you normally got it well done in the past?
Medium well.
Oh, medium well. So you always did medium well.
So I don't know why I said medium rare.
Rare? Oh.
That was the dumbest thing.
It happens. No, there was one time I went to like a restaurant and I said, only lettuce on like a burger, and I'm like, bitch, I meant to say like no lettuce. I'm like, it's like you have those moments when you're under pressure. So I felt that. But medium rare, oh my, I can imagine because that was your first time ever trying it, right?
But like I'm not even like mad about that experience because like I never had anything more than a medium well or well done.
Right.
So it was like, okay, this was interesting. Never will do it again.
Right.
But interesting.
You tried it.
Or maybe I should try to like slowly get into it. Because they say like the rarer your food is or the less cooked it is, it's healthier for you.
That's what I've heard too.
Like how like they say like sushi.
Yeah.
Like they say like raw sushi is more better for you and like digestive system wise. So I was like, maybe one day I'm gonna try to work my way into like trying like, but that day no.
Right.
I gotta eat it slowly.
But that was your only time. Would you ever try it again?
Slowly.
Right, you're like inch your way.
Probably like a piece, like one or two of a steak, not like half the steak.
Oh, because you dove right into it. That's probably why.
It was so good though. It was so good.
Because everyone tells me it's so good the more rarer you get. So I'm like, it has to be.
I can say like it has more flavor. Like, how like well done is like cold.
Right.
Cold.
I can only imagine.
So you don't taste like the seasoning and stuff, but it's like the more pink it is, I feel like it has like the juices coming out.
Ooh, that's what I'm. Because my issue when I had well done is there was no juice, bitch.
Like, girl,
the juice is gone. It was sucked out of that damn cow.
The steak was sweating. sweating with no flavor. Sweating.
Right.
Sweating how burnt it was.
Right, because for me, I love a juicy steak. Juicy steak, bitch.
A
I
steak
love
hate to
it.
see me coming. Let me tell you.
Literally, I love the juicier the better. So that's why I'm like, maybe I should try more rare, but like medium rare is a little spooky.
What's your favorite steakhouse?
My favorite steakhouse? I love Longhorn.
Longhorn.
Like Longhorn was my favorite. Texas is okay.
Texas. Don't speak on Texas because their rolls.
Oh yeah, the rolls are
The
phenomenal.
cinnamon, like I feel like the rolls make up for all their food.
Right.
All their
It's kind of
food.
like giving Olive Garden with their like bread, their breast
I hate
sticks.
Olive Garden.
Oh!
Olive Garden, y'all got the stalest bread.
Vanessa!
That bread is so hard. You know, like when you click your fork, like eating on the plate.
Right.
That's how the bread sound if you was to hit it
Oh
against
my
your teeth. That thing's hard. I don't like their bread at all.
Which one have you gone to? The one in Mays Landing?
I've been to a couple. Like it doesn't
say,
even
so
have
you've been to other locations.
Yeah, it's not good at all. If it wasn't for those $5 take home entrees, I would never go there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not that great.
I love their breast sticks. That's the one thing I'm
Really?
vacuuming. That's the thing I'm vacuuming.
There's like no season, not even parsley, no, just
It's
oil,
good,
just oil.
but it's good.
And it's not soft.
For me, I had them soft. I don't know what times you
I've
have
been there a couple
had.
times. They're not soft. They're like
They're like this bitch. We had to make sure we give her the worst
I
bread.
could throw that for my dog as like a dog toy, and he would bring it back to me without biting into it. That's how
hard
it is.
you dealt with it.
Yes, it's
For
hard.
me, it was soft, like pretty, like it wasn't like crunchy.
Well, it wasn't like I wouldn't say like it was hard, but it was hard enough where I don't want to eat it.
Okay.
Like you ever go to like Red Lobster? Their biscuits, they're
I
all
want to know something I've never been.
what?
I've never been to Red Lobster.
Cut the mic, cut the show. Really? Never.
I've been invited once, but I've always had something come up, like I had to go to work or something. I've never been to Red
I wouldn't say
Lobster.
their food is that great, but I feel like everybody has.
But
tried it.
everyone has told me that I'm not really missing out.
You're
That's why I
not
never
missing
gave a
out,
shit.
But I like their cheddar biscuits. But like every time they bring those biscuits out, they're literally warm and soft. Like they crumble in your mouth.
Oh my.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, yeah.
Everyone
Olive
told me I
Garden.
didn't miss much.
Yeah, their crab legs is not no.
That's people
You gotta
never
go to
told
like
me.
Crafty Crabs. You gotta
Yes.
go to Philly or Baltimore to get some good crabs.
We gotta do a podcast, you guys. I like a restaurant and just like eat. Do a mukbang.
I
A
say
mukbang.
seafood boil.
Ooh.
That would be nice.
We should do an ASMR, like just like
Huh?
biting into you know ASMR?
ASMR, what's that?
ASMR?
ASMR, what's that?
It's the people that like do the sounds on the mic. You never seen those?
What sounds in a mic?
Like when people be eating, they're like, and like on the
Stop!
mic.
Yo, that's so nasty.
What?
Yum, 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 yum.
I'm weird.
see
I love
that.
watching people eat.
That sounds so nasty.
People say they hate it. It's like you either hate it or
You
you,
ever
love
ate
it.
crab legs?
I probably like once or twice, like not a lot.
Imagine eating crab legs and hearing someone.
But it's satisfying.
No,
I
no,
love
no,
it.
no.
I love it.
You guys, if you eat crab legs and seafood, you know how noisy it is.
That's the point.
It's all slurpy and like
It's kind of like if I were to grab this phone and just start.
no.
Like, people
no.
do the
No, I'm talking
sounds.
about crab legs.
I know, but a mukbang specifically, they'll sit there and they make the sounds. They're like when they're eating soup and like eating noodles, like.
Stop playing.
We should do that, you
No.
guys. Comment down below if you want that from us.
No,
I'm telling you, they
that's
probably.
so
Vanessa, I feel
disgusting.
like you would be the best. I feel
Like,
like you would be the best
stop.
at it.
Like, no, I can't imagine.
They
it.
would love it. I know the audience. There's an audience out there waiting for you. They want you to do it. I just
That's-
know
I
it.
don't know. That sounds so nasty.
I just know it.
Like, imagine slurping the crab meat out the leg. You're sucking on it like your whole life depend on it.
But
Because
then
you know, like when you
it's
like
the sound.
when you crack a crab leg and you're trying to get that little piece of meat that's still in there, and you're
but that's
slurping
what
it like crazy.
that's the point. They
and then
want to
you
hear
dip
it.
in the little seasoning and all
And they,
that.
so people over exaggerate it just for the sound,
That's too much.
especially when noodles still like
Like at that point, you're choking on it. That noodle's not that damn long.
Right. I agree. But yeah, with all that being said, I think that was my peak was obviously today and then that date, and it's gonna be a date tomorrow. So I'm definitely gonna tell all of you guys about it. You'll be the first to hear about it, of course. So with all that being said, I think we should move in for today's episode topic, which is our friendship. So can you unlock your phone?
Oh yeah.
We have all the notes on her phone.
There we go.
All right. So I think the way to go about this conversation is talking about long-term friendships, because it's very controversial in a sense where a lot of people tend to hold on to toxic friends, like long-term like friendships, because they're like, oh, I know this person for so many years, and they feel like they gotta hold on to it. So it's like a very controversial topic, but I feel like for us, it was like a good, healthy friendship, but we had our ups and downs. And I definitely want to talk about that today for anyone out there who wants to find the difference between a healthy friendship and a toxic one.
Okay.
Because we definitely had them before. We held on to someone because of the like the long terms of for how long you knew them.
Right.
And then you realize, oh shit, this is not worth holding on to. So with all that being, fuck, it's just like locked again.
Yeah.
With all that being said, let's talk about how we met each other. Do you know how to turn on? You don't have the like low battery, or is it just locking for the quick?
The password is 9874.
Wait, you telling the audience?
What are you guys gonna do? Grab my phone?
Anywho, so let's talk about our friendship and how we met.
Okay.
So we met at a church.
Yes.
Do you remember the moment that we met? I don't. It's so
I'm
long
gonna be
ago.
honest. I do not remember. That was like years, like I would say like late middle school.
Because I was gonna say, how old were we? Because we're now 25.
It was definitely not high school. It was late middle school.
Middle school for sure. We were fetuses.
Yeah, I would just say church. I think we took the same church bus. Our church had a bus that would pick you up at your house. I love that. Like, you know, because sometimes, like, you know, having your parents drive you to church is a little hard. And, you know, sometimes with weather conditions and stuff like that. And it was fun on the bus. I kind of like spit a little bit.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It was like a vibe because they'll play like church music and stuff. And they used to give out candy and snacks.
Yes, it was nice.
It was fun. But I would say probably because you were in the same town as me.
Yes, we were. That's how we like knew each other. We were in the same bus.
Right.
But I don't know if you remember the moment that we met. Because a lot of people know, but it's so.
I'm gonna be honest. I do not remember.
For me, the only assumption I can make is the fact that you and I, because we were on a group, because there was Flo and there was other people. And remember Bree? Brielle with the blonde.
Oh,
like,
cause oh my gosh, where is she?
She got a baby.
Oh my gosh, we all got babies.
Not me. Not me. But like,
who knows? Who knows who's coming?
Right.
Who's coming?
No, not me. I'm waiting till 30. But yeah, like
smart.
Right. But yeah, like I remember we were in a group, and I think that's for me the way that I could recount is how we met. But I don't know if there was a moment that like one-on-one. I don't remember.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
How old were we? We're like 11, 13.
I just know it was late middle school.
I would have to say like 11 or 13.
When did you start going to that church? Middle school.
I said, like, yeah, I had to be like around like 11. Like,
it couldn't be like Camp Calvary.
No, we did. Remember we went?
No, I did. I remember we went and we were like, we clicked and everything.
Old
we were
we?
friends.
Yeah.
But it had to be before that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I have pictures if you want to ever put that on the podcast.
I'll post it on the screen.
I have them.
I'll post the pictures on the screen.
But yeah, I don't remember. Maybe a Wednesday night, like
that's
little Bible
it
study.
It could have been anything.
Yeah.
But all I remember is how you and I got close is when everyone stopped going. Like Bree stopped going.
Maybe we got close when my sister was friends with your sister.
Yeah, that's how they started.
That's how they started, and I think maybe.
And we were obviously in the same bus because Flo and me, we were in the same. Right, we were in the same bus though, right?
Flo,
were we three of us were in the
Flo
bus?
Was always. I don't know what. I think she was on Pleasantville most of the time.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I feel like you and I were on the bus the most.
Well, I just realized I said our police.
Well, it's not like they would know the actual church. It's not like they know the church.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, we were on the bus and yeah, I want to say there was a period of time that I remember that you and I were just hanging out one-on-one. Because I feel like maybe Flo stopped going to church. I don't know what it was, but I remember you and I were just the ones going.
We were the last ones still going.
We're the last ones standing.
That church had us
in a chokehold.
We loved it. We made sure we kept going.
Right.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
You and I were like the goody goodies.
Honestly, we needed God. We still do. We still do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I remember that's how we started off our friendship. What was your first impression of me? I'm really intrigued.
I
that
don't
was
know.
Weird back then.
You were like really quiet. I remember that. You were like super quiet.
You were the opposite of me.
Yeah, you know, as you can say.
You haven't changed.
But yeah, if I remember correctly, you were like really quiet. I don't remember how we first met, but I always knew you were always quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
For you, I always knew you were loud.
I was always loud.
You were loud, and you're such a social butterfly.
That is right.
You would talk to anybody. You would talk to a homeless man on the street if you could. Like, you would talk to anybody.
Speaking of homeless man.
Oh, man.
I gotta give you a time. I was with a group. I gave this homeless man a Twix bar. We danced together.
You got him a Twix bar?
Yes.
Okay.
We were in Atlantic City at the time, and then we went to the sugar factory, and it came
Ooh.
like, you know how like you could buy like a whole lot of candy. It came with a whole box. I gave him a Twix bar and made his day. We started dancing.
You were dancing with him? There was music?
Yeah. Well, no.
She dancing no. You dancing no music?
Believe it or not, like homeless people think like they're so dirty and they're so like mean and stuff. But be honest, like anybody could be homeless.
Right.
Anybody.
I agree.
And like they have lives and stories too. They're not always that bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Did he tell you his life story?
I only remember vibing with him, honestly.
I was about to say,
Like-
where are you going with
like,
this?
I'm just remembering how I vibed with him. I don't
But
even
did he tell
remember-
you you were like empathized with him, or you're just like, no? You just hope that he had a good story.
Honestly, I don't remember. I just remember vibing with him.
Aw.
Just dancing and stuff.
But
That's all
you
I
know
remember.
music. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But you are that person when I mean you're a social butterfly, because some people would have to dance with their music. You don't give a shit.
I don't care.
And you don't care if people are staring at you. Like,
Oh,
you're so
definitely.
confident in that
Remember
sense.
we went to that Halloween thing that you took me to a couple days ago? Remember?
Oh,
Karaoke thing?
you know, my coworkers were telling me, they're like, Allie, how was your weekend? I'm like, I didn't do much. They're like, weren't you doing karaoke with the empty crowd? I'm like, ah! But that's you and I coded.
Oh my god.
Like, we do our best and there's no one there.
Can you believe we were vibing, we're having a good time.
Oh, that was another peak of that we
And
had.
Then this guy, and I think it was a guy and a girl, he came out, he was like, oh, I thought you was our friend. Like, you know, this thing ended already, and we're just like having fun. We're like, oh my gosh, we didn't know. And then we came out, the parking lot was empty.
Oh my god, you guys. So basically, like, for context, I decided, you know what, Vanessa, like, I haven't seen you in a minute. You've been a mother. You've been indoors. I was like, let's go to this like little spooky thing. I told everyone that I'm on a budget. I'm trying to pay off my debt. I was like, I want to go to at least one spooky thing this month. I was like, Vanessa, let's go to this one. Everyone's been raving about it. We go, and that's when it's like we went pretty late for the time, because I think we went to the latest time that they had available.
And we came late after that.
Yeah,
time.
we were later than we had to be. But then we still had fun. We still went and do our little thing. And that's when we noticed there was a karaoke thing, because they said all the events that we have here, we have a karaoke thing. Me and Vanessa love karaoke.
I love
And
to
anyone
get
who knows,
down.
I love a karaoke little sash. We go in there and there's nobody there, so you and I take advantage. Because some people get intimidated, like, oh my god, no. You and I was like, oh,
no.
the stage is ours.
That means that's ours.
That means like opera. That means everything. So I was so excited, and you and I sang, and there's random people coming up and like cheering us on until the point where someone came up to us and they're like, why are you guys still here? We're like, excuse me?
And it ended.
The whole entire event ended, you guys. And it was so embarrassing. So I'm like, oh my god. Like, what does this mean? And it means that we stayed way longer than we needed to.
I can't believe it. No one even like thought to like, hey,
The
everyone's
time
leaving.
ends at this, like,
Did the thing like even tell us when it ended or no?
maybe. But I would say, like, I don't know. But then either or, what if I came out of state and I just didn't know?
Right.
It was just, but it was still, like, it was embarrassing but hilarious. For me, I found more funny than embarrassing.
It wasn't even any employees there. It was just like those two. Everybody was gone. So
You guys, we went to the parking lot. There was like one car, and it was like hours, and like
it's
another
just
car.
like, why did anyone say anything? And mind you, we were screaming at the top of our lungs.
Can you imagine if they left and turned off all the lights?
I think we would. And then it's like, oh my gosh, did they turn off the karaoke machine? They weren't going to turn that off or anything because no one came by.
Because the fact that everyone on the property left and there's only two cars, you would think that they would like be like, yo, why are they like...
Right.
But they told
was
us the
interesting.
moment everyone left. That was so funny,
But
though.
it was still fun. It was a vibe.
I had
loved
so
it. I
much
loved it.
fun. But yeah.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
Can you lock
Sorry.
it again?
Oh, yeah. I just told you the password.
Girl, I am not going to remember it. So, with all that being said, how long have we been friends for? So, we've been friends for
I would definitely say
over a decade, right?
I would say over a decade. We did take some breaks, as you know, like strong friendships. I feel like sometimes, you know, in life you change here and there, and you know, you go through things. So, you know, sometimes there's that on and off, but I feel like we always like, you know, we were always friends. Even though like stuff happened, you know, people influenced us and stuff like that. I feel like I would say over a decade.
Absolutely.
I would definitely say that. Because even though we weren't like as close, you know, we ended up shifting apart, because we also keep in mind we went to different schools.
Absolutely.
So, that was a little hard and stuff like that. But I would say, yeah, definitely a decade.
Yeah, I was going to say over a decade. And the next question, ironically.
But then I would say definitely a decade. And then we rekindled, what was it, last year, April?
Yeah.
Last year, April. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to just get into that. The next question was, what are some challenges that we've gone through and how do we get through them? What did it teach us about ourselves? And I was going to expose myself.
Okay.
Because I feel like I was the problem of a lot of our friendships. Like whenever we had our ups and downs. And it's funny because when I was writing the notes, I did get emotional. I got emotional about it because I'm like, I really was a bitch. Like I mean, was
everybody has their like bitch era.
But like I was such a bitch, and like when she said influence, it's true. So basically, me and Vanessa have been friends since middle school, and you and I were peas in a pod.
When I tell
everywhere we go,
she was the peanut butter and I was the jelly.
Like we were. We
didn't need bread. We just needed each other.
Like when the moment we hopped on that church bus, they're like, "Oh fuck."
Oh yeah. They're like, "Oh, those two."
And we always had our arm wrapped around each other. Like we were like literally hip to hip. And that's when there was this girl that I became friends with in high school, and she was, ironically, she used to be best friends with your best friend at that time.
Right.
And I feel like because I feel like from what she recounted to me, that she felt like you took her away from the friend that she had.
Which I wouldn't say I took her away. We just went to the same school.
Right.
And then, as you know, you went to the same school as your like new best friend at the time. So I feel like she didn't understand, like, we may seem like best friends and closer to each other, but keep in mind we went to the same school.
I was gonna say, you see each other more.
Yeah.
Like you see her more than she would see her.
And at the school that I went to, it was like a Votech school. So like we had the same major even.
Right.
Yeah.
So like for her, she was very narcissistic though, I would say. She was very narcissistic. And history did repeat itself last year, and I'll get to that in a second. But she was very narcissistic, where I feel like she didn't like the idea of someone, like if she was best friends with someone, she didn't like the idea of their attention being anywhere besides her. She always wanted to be the center of attention, and she knew you and I were two peas in a pod. And she loved
do that.
Yeah, she loved the idea of like, can I take her away from the person that she's like best friends with?
Right.
And I feel like for her, she started getting in my head, and I used to be very insecure. Like I used to be very insecure.
Wow.
I used to be very insecure.
She was pulling all the churchmen.
Not even.
Don't wear a suit around her.
But for me, I used to be really insecure, where it's like you can easily get in my head. And I feel like for her, she was making up lies, saying like you were talking shit about me, that you didn't like me, that you always thought I was annoying. Like these insecurities that like I feel like she knew that I had.
Because
So
I was
like,
going to say, how would she know if I don't even talk to her?
right. But I was so easily, because those were insecurities that she knew I already had. So imagine if it's like me being like, oh, I feel like I'm fat. And she's going to sit there and be like, oh, Vanessa was saying that you're fat. Of course, it's going to trigger me because I'm like, oh, Vanessa knows that this is insecurity, man. She's saying that. And like you said, anyone logical with common sense would be like, how did she get this information?
But
but I was already insecure.
But we as we get older, our minds develop and we start seeing more things for what it is, and then we start seeing like some stuff you'll just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I went for that and stuff like that. If you could go back, would you have still been best friends with that person?
Absolutely not.
Would you rekindle that friendship now? If you're not friends with that person?
There's so much you would have, like, because the thing was, I will always say Vanessa was like always and always will be the best friend I've ever had. Because the thing is, whenever I was going through something, you were always there. You were always the type of person that I need. Like, you remind me so much of my sister, and it's because you're an Aquarius. It's like Aquarius energy. My sister's an Aquarius. And the thing is, you guys hold people accountable. And that's a friend that you should always have.
And I would want people to do the same for me, because I know I'm not the best.
Because whenever I was on my shit, you would never sit there and just be like, oh, like you will be like, Allie, blank, blank, blank. But that's what helps me be a better person. You should always have a friend that's bettering you.
Right.
And for her, she was always making me go down a darker path. And you were always going to be a brighter path. But I feel like for her, it's like, I feel like I was so insecure, and she knew how to latch onto it. And it's sad, because then she knew how to prey on my insecurities. And then she's just like, oh, Vanessa talks so much bad about you. She doesn't like you. She says that she like values like that friend that you had over me. And I think I was insecure about that. I was always insecure. Like I've never felt like I was good enough, blah, 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 blah. So I feel like she preyed on that. And that's when I became very distant with you. And that's when we eventually fell off for like the entirety of like high school.
Yeah, but then we rekindled like throughout like college here and there, and then we like
talked here and there,
and then like here and there,
because that's when I was in my toxic relationship.
You were dating that guy, so then like I feel like you distance yourself from like everybody. At that point.
It's not even just you, everyone. And that's when ironically, I went through my really crazy breakup that I talked to you guys a lot about. And that's when it was crazy, Vanessa. I don't think I've ever told you this, but when I went through my breakup, I remember all I had was my sister and my therapist. I didn't have any friends because I literally, like I said, I isolated myself, and I felt like all of my friends were his friends. So I was so alone. I was like, I just want friends again. Like, I feel so sad, and I always knew that I fucked it up with you.
But that's the thing. When I'm sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
But that's the thing about us females. When we get in a relationship, we make ourselves like just our man. Our man, I am man.
That's the mistake
my man,
I made.
My man. But I feel like, why is it that with us females, it happens so naturally that we don't even recognize it? Like, I know you didn't just wake up like, yo, I don't have any friends. I don't talk to this person.
It was when everything blew up.
It just happens over time. But why is it that us females will lose friendships like that, and we don't even realize it when we're with our significant other? But males, for some reason, when they're in a relationship, it doesn't change their friendships with people.
If anything, friendships get better.
Exactly, it gets stronger. So it's like, it doesn't make sense for us females. We lose. I feel like with females, we lose a part of ourselves, like friendship, like the way you are and everything. But males, they just gain.
Yes.
Or like they stay the same. They gain or they stay the same. We lose ourselves.
That's why for me, when I went through my breakup, I felt like I lost way more than any. I feel like he gained so much and I lost everything. So when I went through my breakup, I remembered that friend that, that tried to get into a friendship again last year. She was the first friend I made after my breakup. She ironically reached out to me out of nowhere. We were hanging out and I kind of had to hold you accountable for this, but you would have this habit where you will unfriend me on a Snapchat and then add me.
Because
then unfriend me and then add me.
Okay, so I had this thing. So, like, I don't know, for me, like, if you're taking too long to respond back or like...
Yeah, I was an awful responder.
Or if you don't respond and I see you post on your story, unfriend. But then it's like...
That is me.
Then, like, I'm that type of person that's like, okay, maybe I should have did that. That's not, like, a way of communication. Yeah. So then I'll add you back. But then if you're doing the same shit, then...
But you know what's the reason why?
But that's one toxic trait I have. I can say that still lingers with me. I'll add you, but like if you don't respond, I'll unadd you.
That's my problem. My problem is I'll block somebody. I'll fucking right to block you.
I don't go block all the way because I don't know. I just feel like that's so like deep. I don't know.
For me, I'm extra. But like the reason why I brought that up is because ironically, Vanessa, I kid you not, one day I spoke it out to the universe because that's when I was really in my spiritual journey of like trying to better myself. I was like, I miss Vanessa. I was like, I miss Vanessa, but I don't know how to reach her because you don't have social media.
Yes.
So I was like,
I'm a loser. I only have Snapchat.
Right.
Oh, and TikTok. TikTok's been great.
Oh yeah. But like, I was like, I miss Vanessa. I don't remember your number. I was like, I miss her so much, and then you added me out of nowhere.
Believe it or not, I feel like I added you off of someone's Snapchat. I think somebody like at you, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder how she's doing and everything. So that's when I added you.
And because just posting me, who knows?
It was definitely because I don't think your other like friends and followers, I don't think I would even like follow them. I don't think I would know them. I know I had her on Snapchat.
Right. Exactly. Could have been that. But I remember I was literally just thinking, I miss you. And then you literally added me, and that's when I slid in your DM because I'm like, I miss her so much. And I was like, a part of me was like, I don't want to make it seem like I was just like, because when you fucked up with someone, you don't want to make it seem like, oh, I just want to get on your good side because you just don't know. But for me, I was like, I missed her and I kind of wanted you back in my life. And that's when you immediately wanted to hang out. Yeah. And that's when it was like history ever since.
How did you feel when we first like hung out like in person for the first time? I think we went to like a club.
Yeah, we went to a club. We went drinking. We went drinking with your friend.
Kiss Kiss. Oh yeah, Jocelyn.
Yeah, we went with your friend.
We went to Kiss Kiss and we pregame before we got there. So how would you rate that like first time out, like being with me after like so long of like not talking? I mean, we were texting.
Absolutely.
Like,
because we caught up. We caught up
to get to the like, that date and stuff like that. So how did you feel like actually hanging out for the first time?
Again, but my biggest fear was I feel like, of course, probably not even just you, but maybe we both probably had our walls up because there was so much that happened. Right. So part of me was like, I wish it was like there wasn't, like, I wish I wasn't such an asshole and fucked things up because then I feel like you and I would have been like, oh, like we would have been crazier, Because us now, bitch, like when we go to a club, we're like standing.
Unbeatable. You would
But
hate to see us coming.
at that time, I wouldn't say it was a bad time, but I feel like there was a lot of walls up for sure.
Right.
But I still had an amazing time.
Right.
And that's when I realized, like, oh my God, I really missed you. And I felt really, really bad. I really felt a lot of guilt at that time.
Yeah,
So I was like,
don't think of it as always you.
absolutely.
I don't remember like the situation because so
it was
far long
literally
ago.
high school. Literally
But like,
high school.
it's not just you. It could be like the way I communicated and stuff like that. I can say
know.
like honestly, like when it came to like me losing like friendships, I can say I was. I was terrible with like communication. Like whenever I felt
Yeah.
something, and like as
I
you
was
know,
too. I was too.
always a people pleaser. I'll like keep stuff to
Yeah.
myself, and I feel like I was only doing those things to like keep friends at the time. But like
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. I
I'll
love
say
how
what I
much you stand
want.
on business now. Seeing
Yeah.
your growth.
stand on business.
Yes, because I feel like back then that was our main issue though, was communication. But I had to say, for me, my biggest issue has and always will be the fact that I hate talking about our feelings. But we will talk about how much our friendship has grown because I feel like we've come a long way.
I can say
We've come a
definitely-
long way.
Like I know, like how sometimes we don't see eye to eye.
Absolutely.
I can say lately we did we do. Not say, I'm sorry.
Right,
We do
right.
communicate a lot better. Like whenever you're feeling something about me, I like how you hold me accountable, and like now you can say
And vice
like,
versa.
like I can say your words don't be as nice. But I feel like
Vice
when you-
versa, but you need to
I
hear
feel like-
it, you
I feel
know?
like when you're holding somebody accountable, you can't be nice. Like
I was about to say,
because
because it is people pleasing, you know? It is people pleasing.
Like, I can say like we learn how to not take everything to heart. Like if I say like
Yes.
bitch, get on your A game, you know,
Yeah.
like to like not take it to heart. And same with me, you know.
Right.
So I realized when it came to communication, we did grow, definitely.
Right, because back
Definitely.
then, whenever you made me mad, I did not want to even tell you because I'm like, it's going to create tension. But I'm like, how are we going to get through
Right.
you making me mad if I'm not even going to tell you? So, like,
Right.
I just hated talking about my feelings. Now, I still hate talking about my feelings, but you're the only person that because we've come a long way, though.
Yeah, we've
come.
we
Because and then
definitely-
last
we
year,
definitely
I
did.
feel like last year, when you and I rekindled, there was the summer where we did stop talking for like a month or two.
Yeah.
And it was
I feel like
because.
it's because we rekindled our friendship and we weren't there yet with the communication.
Communication,
You
and we
know?
were in different periods in our lives
Yeah.
because you already lived the college life and I just went through a breakup. I went through another heartbreak with that
Right.
situationship,
Yeah.
and then it's like
Yeah.
I was so sad, and I think a part of me, it was self-sabotage where I'm like, I don't want Vanessa to see how I'm gonna act, so I think I pushed you away purposely because even then, like when I look back at it, because I remember you and I rekindled again and you were asking me how I was and I told you how everything was and you're like, Ali, I could have been there for you. A part of me was like, I didn't want you to, because then I feel like you would have held me accountable.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that. I didn't want that because I was like, I want to self-destruct. I was like, I want to self-destruct.
But I feel like sometimes you need to take a break from people.
Yeah.
I definitely.
And that break made us stronger, for sure.
Definitely. And I feel like when you take a break from people, it makes you realize who you are and what you need to work on yourself. And then it makes you see the flaws in yourself. And you realize, okay, maybe I need to fix this to be a better friend, this and that.
Right.
And then, but like, when those things happen, we always rekindle.
Right, for sure, for sure.
And it always gets us, in a better place with each other.
Right, but I really think the funny thing that was the fact that the friend that I had, I think she was trying to pull another situation that we had with the other girl where I feel like she was trying to steer you away from me again.
I don't know.
But then for her, I felt like because obviously now my confidence has grown so much that she'll sit there and be like, oh, like she'll make slick comments like, oh, you're gonna be with Vanessa again. You tell Vanessa everything but not me. In my head, I'm like, well, bitch, like Vanessa is actually, we have an emotional friendship.
Right. But
Where for
dang,
her,
I didn't know it was like that.
we did talk about that though.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah.
Like, damn. You hate
Yeah.
with Vanessa again? Like
Because for her, I feel like she hated the fact that she was always just the party. But it's like, girl, how are you gonna sit there and be mad that you're just my party friend? Well, you're not. Whenever I'm emotional with you, you judge the fuck out of me. She would make fun of me when her decisions were 10 times worse. And she was a bad friend because she influenced 90% of my situations. Like she'd sit there and be like, Ali, another shot, hook up with that guy. Whereas for you, you would be like, Ali.
like, let's go.
Right.
Like, you can have a little fun, yeah,
Right.
but that's it.
But then the fact that in the state that I was, you would have been like, you would have grabbed me by my ear. But for her, I feel like she was just like, I don't know. And I feel like she was so jealous of our friendship. Like she was very, very jealous. Like she kept trying to stare us, like she tried to turn us against each other by saying slick shit. Like, oh, you always want to hang out with her, huh? You're giving her your time. But I'm like, she earned that.
But I could say, I don't know. When you introduced me to her, I I didn't think like she thought of me that way. I thought she was like she was cool with me and everything. Like I thought we vibed. I didn't think that. Like remember we did karaoke all together. I thought she was like, oh, she was down with the shit. I thought she was.
But that's the thing about her that's so weird is the fact that she's such a cool person. Like she's such a cool person to hang out with, but she's very insecure. That's when, like, you know, when they say you meet someone and you meet them at the time that you're at, like emotionally, mentally. Right. Like I was very insecure when I met her. I had a drinking problem. I loved like just self-destructing. So I feel like for her we matched that, and that's what made our friendship toxic. But then when I started, you know, when they say when you have a trauma bond with someone, when you start to better yourself, someone's either gonna match that with you or they're gonna just stay behind. Right. And I feel like for her, it was just like she was staying behind, because like she'll sit there and be like, oh my God, you're so boring now. You don't go out. And I'm like, girl, I'm in debt. I'm trying to pay off my debt. Remember I was working 3 jobs. I'm like, girl.
I hate that about people. I feel like I hate when people say like you're boring now and stuff. Like stuff in your life changes. Right. Like somebody just told me not that long ago, like ever since you became a mom, you don't like, you're not down with the shits. And I'm like,
I was just gonna say, imagine I said that to you. Like you're not fun anymore. That's crazy.
It's a little upsetting because it's like, okay, now I have another person to care about. You know,
other than yourself.
I'm not as reckless as I am before. I can't just say, yo, like let's do this. You know, I have someone to think about. You know, so I feel like when stuff in your life happens, you can't be that same person. Like you said, you were in depth and stuff like that. You can't be that same party person. You can't match that.
You gotta more. Like elevate.
You gotta fix, you know, what you got going on. Right. So I hate when people see other people go through changes because of whatever they have to adjust to in their lives at that time. They just, oh, you're no fun, you're this, you're that. Right. But no, life is lifing. Right. We're old now. Life is lifing.
We grow.
Honestly, now that I think about it, when like if someone invited me to like a party and club now, I'm not going.
Oh, really?
I can say I am definitely not going because I feel like if you go to the club, you're honestly looking for somebody or you're looking for a hookup. Don't say y'all not. Okay. You're looking for a hookup, or you could be having a good time with your friends.
But
like,
it's rare.
But like it has to be rare. There's people our age still
every
going
weekend.
Every other weekend. Who's doing that? And then those drinks is $18 a cup.
It's crazy.
So it's like, what are you doing?
Why do you think I was putting myself in more debt when I was partying every weekend?
And then if you think about it, you're paying $18 per cup. That could be gas. You got to drive to go places, and then you got to get a new makeup. Outfit. So it's like, I don't know. To me, it's not worth it. I'd rather invest. And like now that we're getting older, and I can say I was like this before the kid. That's
what I was gonna say. Like you and I were in different places because you already had the college experience. Whereas for me, I just got out of a relationship. I'm finally free. You and I are in 2 different wavelengths, but we still came back to each other. You know, and I think that's what makes a healthy friendship is when you guys can like still compromise, right. Being in different places in life. Like you, like even if I was to be like, by the time I go out this weekend, you want to sit there and be like, oh, you got so many. You'll sit there and be like, have a good time.
I'm like, have a good time.
Right.
Take a shot for me.
Yeah. So like as long as we can like come together, I feel like that's when you know you have a good healthy friendship.
Depending like what it is, like if it's a birthday or something, I'll even pop out.
Yeah.
But like all the time, like I don't understand how people do it because it's
every
like,
weekend I get tired. I'm old.
Like, girl, my bones hurt. Like
my knee hurts, my back hurts.
And then to be doing it all night, nah. Like, I don't know. It's like no more like a vibe anymore. Like now that I'm older, like I could say I drink heavy. I do drink heavy. But I could say
her liquor tolerance is crazy.
Wine now.
I love wine
more than like old fashioned. Neat, please. Neat.
She loves old fashioned. How the fuck? Like it's so crazy. A woman.
You would think I'm like a 60-year-old businessman that had a long day from work, asking for the old fashioned. But I don't know.
That is so crazy.
I like it. And the thing about being a female, like petite and, you know, like very like, people don't expect that at the bars. They're like,
they probably get intimidated about you immediately. Like, ooh.
I'm like, when you get stuff like that, you're strong. You're mysterious too. You're independent. Really, I'm not. If you want to pay for my drink, pay for it.
Period. Like, she's taught me so much. If you guys are wondering my mindset, she's taught me everything. I feel like her and Shara 7. Yeah, both. Sprinkle.
But like, yeah, I could definitely say that.
Right. Like we've come such a long way, and I feel like the reason why our friendship has come so much stronger. And like I said, because I would talk about it with my sister or like family. I'm like, when it comes to like my sister, my mom, and you're the only 3 people that I will ever argue with. Because when it comes to my mom and my sister, they're the only people that I argue with because I have to like I have to like set a standard and like hold them accountable. But you and I, when we argue, it never feels like arguing. Because I feel like I'm like, when I tell you how I feel, even if it comes off strong, you take the moment to digest what I said, and you know she's not attacking me. She's telling me how, like, you're very emotionally intelligent, where you're like, okay, she's expressing how she feels right now.
And let me say, it's not easy. It takes time.
That's why I said you take your time.
It takes a whole lot of time.
You can respond in 2 days, but you like digest it.
Another thing that like has helped me: do not be quick to respond to somebody when they tell you how they feel. It could be how they feel about themselves or you. Do not respond as quick. Take yourself to sit there, analyze, realize, think it through. Because sometimes when you're like jumping to answer, it could be taken the wrong way.
Right.
It could be rude. You're not really comprehending everything.
Right.
Like sometimes when you read something too fast, you might miss a couple words and you interpret the whole situation differently.
Because you ever had those moments where you reread a paragraph like 3 times, you're like, oh shit, it feels different the third time you reread it.
Oh, definitely.
And then you're like, oh fuck, I just sent a message that didn't even correlate with how I feel about it now, you know? That's why for us, I feel like one thing that helped our friendship a lot, for those who are listening and you're in that situation when you're arguing with your best friend, you and I take a minute to respond back to each other, but it helped our friendship because we need a moment to digest how I feel and then how you feel, like how it could compromise together. Like, okay, she just told me how I feel. How am I gonna approach this in a way where she also feels seen, but I'm also still like letting it be known how I feel? Right. Because like you said, like when you first reread it and it's like you feel attacked, you might be responding in the mindset of like, I feel attacked, I need to defend myself. Right. Where like I hate that. Like I feel like our friendship has grown a lot because it's not like you versus me. It's you, me versus the problem.
And keep in mind, sometimes when you're texting someone how you feel, I always recommend saying it in person.
Right.
Not even over the phone. Yeah. Because when like most of the time we text because you know we're all busy. Right. But like sometimes like it could be interpreted differently, like the words and stuff like that. You know how like when you text somebody, there could be like a hidden language right behind it. Right. Don't always think that.
It can sound nonchalant.
It definitely can. Don't always overthink of what someone says.
I agree.
Because sometimes you could read something and be like, is she trying to get smart with me?
Right.
When really she's just trying to hold me accountable, and it's like, maybe I'm reading it as like
an attack. Because sometimes even when I express how I feel, I had to like let it be known. Like when I say I'm not attacking you, it's just how I feel. But sometimes it does just come off strong. But it's like, this is how I feel. And that's why I feel like it's so healthy when you and I take the moment, even if it's hours later, even a day later, when you respond. That's when I'll like read your response and I'm like, oh my God, I feel seen. I feel like she understood where I'm coming from, instead of being like attack mode. Because I feel like that's a lot of things that you and I dealt with in the beginning, where we both, not even just you and me, there's times I feel like I was attacked, but now that we take a moment to really read and adjust what we said, I feel like now it never feels like an argument. Like even like if you're like, Ali, I feel like we haven't seen each other in a while, like old me would have been like, are you saying that I'm negligent as a friend? Are you saying I'm not a good person? Whereas now I'll be like, oh, she feels like I'm not present enough. So like, let me try to make her feel seen and tell her that, like, validate her that I've been busy, but I'm gonna make up for that. Like, you know, like the perspective change. It's like, it's all about like taking the moment to realize it's not about me, it's about how you feel. Right. And I feel like that perspective changed when you're like, it's not always about me, it's not always I'm being attacked. It's like, try to understand where that person's coming from. Right. But you also got to keep in mind, if it's a friend that like just wants the attention to be on themselves, or they are just like very self-centered, that's when it's like it's a different story.
But I feel like you can realize when someone's like self-centered or trying, you know, like they think whatever they think and feel is correct. And you can honestly tell when a person's like that.
But you and I love the fact that you and I aren't like that. We're like, you and I try to always understand each other's perspective. Right. Because people don't realize like a friendship can sometimes be like another relationship. Like it really is.
I don't even know why you said sometimes. It definitely is. Like,
it really
I can say I'm married to one, and then I got a little one on the side.
Like, she's like my wife, and then it's like
it's definitely a relationship.
Absolutely,
I definitely can say that,
because people don't think that. They just don't think like when it comes to their friendships, they're like, why is all my friendships are failing? It's like you have to sit there and treat it as such. Like when someone's expressing to you their feelings, try to understand where they're coming from. Because I feel like people have egos where they're like, they just came at me. Like I said, if someone were to be like, oh, Ali, I feel like you're not there, people would be like, they're saying that I'm a bad person. They're saying that I'm not a good enough. Like I'm shitty. It's like, no, they're saying that they're not feeling like you're present.
You know what I realized since you said relationships, like friendships and stuff
Right.
like that? Why do us females like keep relationships at like a high standard than friendships?
That one. But at the end of the day, when
Why
your
are we
friendship,
so ready to lose friendships than actual relationship? When honestly, friendships is before. Usually your friends, they happen before your man or your girlfriend.
absolutely.
So it's like, why are we willing to lose them and put our partners up?
That one.
That's a good talk.
That's a conversation starter.
I can't even give you the answer. I don't even know.
Absolutely,
There's
because
been times I did that, but like,
absolutely, we've all been victim to it.
so it's like, why do we do that? Why do you think?
I feel like because we don't realize, because I feel like we're so in love with the other person.
We
and
don't
they give
respect
us,
our friends like that.
I was just gonna say, because the amount of love that we get from the partner, we'll think that it's so much more valuable than the friendship. When you realize in actuality, it's like if you are arguing with your partner, who's there? When you're struggling mentally, who's there? Because men, that's the thing. When it comes to men will never understand a woman's emotions or perspectives. Whereas your best friend, she always will. So that's another question. Why do we value a man who would never understand how we feel over a woman that's your friend who knows where you're coming from and how you feel?
Right.
But we all been victim to that. Like, I can't even talk shit. Like, I've been there where I was like, my pookie first, and then look what happened. You know, and I've always said that was like the main conversation that I wanted to have for this podcast. It's friendships. You don't realize how like when you have a good friend, like how much it could save you mentally. Because you've ever had a point in your life when you have nobody.
Yes, I feel like everybody has that point.
Right, but you know how
even
lonely
when you have people, but you think that
feel
you don't
like
have
you're
no one.
lonely. You feel like you're lonely, but then the best feeling in the world is knowing you have someone. That because then you know, okay, I'm not going through this alone, and that's like something that can get you through. Like even like if you're having suicidal thoughts, like if you're just like, I just know whatever I'm going through, I have this person by my side.
Just to let you know, it's okay to have those thoughts. Just don't actually do it.
Like it's valid what you're feeling. It just don't act on it and speak to someone.
What you're feeling is what I always say about everything in life. What you're feeling is temporary.
Absolutely.
When
Feelings
there's a storm, it's temporary. Like a hurricane, it's temporary. When it rains, it's temporary. On a sunny day, a good day, it's temporary.
Yeah, everything even good
temporary.
things. Even good things are temporary. Bad things, like just embrace things for what they are. That's something I've learned. I think that's the one lesson. What's one lesson you would say you learned this year?
Like with friendships or just like
In
overall?
life.
In life. Don't rush into everything. Everything is not on your time. Even when you want stuff to happen, it's not on your time.
Period.
So I'm Christian, so I'm a little biased. It's on God's time.
Period. Period.
But whatever you guys believe in, it's whatever, whoever you know.
I'm a big believer in that too. Like I'm a big believer where for me, I think the biggest lesson that I've learned is to really sit there and appreciate every moment for what it is. Like to be more present. Because all of last year, I was in so much debt. I was, I was constantly on survival mode that I was talking about with my therapist. I was like, oh my God, I feel like all last year feels like a blur because I felt like I wasn't even present. Like I sat there and like, I felt like I was so miserable and I accomplished a lot. I was like, I was living with my sister and I wanted to move out. And the moment I moved out, I never sat there and appreciated the fact that I moved out, that I don't live with my sister.
That's a big step. That's a big step.
And it's like my therapist will tell me that. She's like, Ali, you've never sat there and really appreciated that. Like a pat on your fucking back.
Everybody
like, bitch,
give
you
yourself
did
a pat
that.
on the back. Everybody.
But that's the thing she says. She's like, you never do that. Like in life, we're all like the next thing, the next. Like for me, I was like, I moved out. Now my apartment. She's like, Ali, take the moment to appreciate the fact that you got your own space now. Like you're gonna get your own apartment with the 2 dogs that you want. Like you're gonna get everything you want. But how the fuck are you gonna get that if you're not even appreciating right now?
And sometimes when you rush into your blessings, you might end up stuck in a place where you don't want to be.
Like with the whole death with Liam Payne, I was talking about it with Ashley. I was talking about it with my therapist too. I was like, my biggest fear is to experience what he did, where he experienced the absolute highest anyone could ever be at their career, and he still felt unhappy. That's my biggest fear because it's like, how can you be blessed that much?
the thing is, we always idol these like celebrities and like not
people's
even just
lives.
celebrities,
You know, people's
just
lives.
like regular people. I'm not saying celebrities are
Right,
regular
of
people,
course, yeah.
but like from what we see on the outside, you never know what they're going through in the inside.
Going through in the inside, and then what's even sad is that it goes for anyone. Someone could like people can experience the most highest success possible, but it's if you're not sitting there and really being like, whoa, like I'm appreciating this moment, the air that's breathing through my body. Like I've really come a long way. Like if you're not appreciating, you're like, okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? You're gonna be on that cycle where you realize nothing. You're gonna feel like, what's the point of anything?
And like it's hard for us not to always want more.
Right. And that was my issue of like this year and last year. Last year I was telling my therapist, I was like, last year I felt like nothing fulfilled me. And the thing was, I've come a long way. And I felt like nothing fulfilled. I was
You're
like,
not
oh my
in the
God.
same place as you were.
But a part of me did not want to even look at that. A part of me was like, oh, it's still not enough, still not enough. And my therapist is like, Allie, like if you had told 2022 Allie that you moved out of that toxic relationship, you got your own space, you got a nice paying job that you love, and you started your own podcast, she would be screaming. But here you are looking, okay, I don't have enough. That's so sad. Because then when is anything ever going to be enough? Because then I could have the success. I could have my own apartment. When will I ever feel enough?
Right.
It's like things like that. Like, you know, when people are like, if I lose this weight, then I'll be happy. Then you lose it. What's next? Whereas instead, like, we got to really learn how to appreciate the moment of like, oh my God, I did this. Thank God. Thank the universe, whatever you believe in. Thank myself.
You know what we all like need to stop doing? Comparing ourselves to other people, to like what they got going on. That was a big thing for me to like learn and like not try to be like, okay, especially TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, I love TikTok.
Me,
but
Instagram.
TikTok, well, if I had social media,
Instagram is my
too.
weakness.
Like I say, TikTok, like some ways I want to delete it sometimes. I'll look at like all these people's lives and how they're coming up. I'm like, damn. But then at the end of the day, I gotta realize I'm 25. I'm married, got my first kid. I got my own house. I got my own car. I paid off my previous car to switch to a new car. Don't do that. When you pay a car, just keep it. It was a nice car. You remember my little soccer
It was
mom?
cute. Why did you give it up?
The CHR. So I was like, I don't know. For me, I was rushing in a way. I was like, I need that mom car. But look, I did need that mom car.
Yeah.
I got a nice Toyota RAV4 2023.
Yes.
SUV. You know, it's real nice. If you guys are looking for a car, that's a nice car, a nice mom car.
Right.
So, and then the little CHR, it was like a soccer mom car, but you couldn't fit that many people.
Right. It was pretty small. It was a little smaller. It was a little smaller.
It was a little small, but it was like super cute. Like it did fit me for the time being.
You love that car.
Her name was Sparkle.
I didn't know her name.
Yeah, her name was Sparkle.
Oh my God.
Because she always needed a car wash. She always needed a car wash. I
didn't know
what
the story behind her name.
about this car, but every bird that, like I said, walk past. Every bird that will fly past always shitted on my car.
So that's what you call it, Sparkle?
Yeah.
She was sparkling with shit.
You know what's so funny? Now that I got my new car, there's no name for it. There's no name.
I've never given my cars a name.
What?
Because there was one time we had like cars in the past from my parents and we named them and they got into car accidents.
You should always name your car. What? My first car, her name was Scarlett.
Scarlett?
Yes, Scarlett.
Was that the black car?
That was okay. So this car, it was a 2006 Nissan.
Yeah, that shit was beat.
I got it offer up.
Well, I didn't know where you got it from.
Yeah, offer up. Yeah, honestly, like if
how much did you pay?
$1,000.
Ooh,
and the mileage was like 130,000. So if you guys are trying to like get into like your first car, and you're in college, or even if you're not in college, do not like when you're getting your first car, do not get a brand new car. Do not do that. Do not do that. I suggest that you go get a little hoop-de-doo, you know, a little buy here, pay here car.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because you know I had my license since high school, but I never drove, so why would I want to get a brand new car?
Right.
Well, honestly, I wanted a brand new car, but my mom was like, "No, you're
but
not
when you're
there
broke
yet.
and young, do it. Like,
so
do it.
when I tell you, I got this 2006 Nissan Altima. It was like 130,000 miles. I got it for $1,000. The person who previously owned the car was a smoker, so it always had like a smoky smell. But Bath and Body Works peppermint spray, you spray it a couple times and it doesn't smell as bad.
Okay, as bad, but
yeah. It was a hint.
Okay,
it was a hint. It wasn't bad.
Hint. Okay.
So
people probably thought you were a smoker getting into your car.
Speaking of smoker,
ooh.
After like 5 months with this car, the car. So my car was smoking.
Your car had every problem
It had
above.
every problem, but
Every
I
problem.
was driving it. I was driving it like with no care. So it was always smoking. You know how embarrassing it was when cars used to be like, "Hey, pull over, pull over." It's smoking up front. Pull over.
And you were like,
I'm
no.
like, oh, okay.
You pull over and go back.
I don't pull over. I just make a turn away from that person. And like I knew my car perfectly.
Oh, that's
And,
real.
like,
That's
if
real.
it smokes so much where I feel like I can't breathe, I'll pull over, turn it off.
Well, you
wait-
can't breathe, Vanessa.
Like,
That's how much they
not
smoke.
saying like can't breathe, but like you could really see
You
the
could
smoke.
Oh my
Like,
god.
you-
So
you
it
like-
smoked that much?
Yes, girl.
Like a
Yes,
chimney?
yes, girl. You know how embarrassing that was driving, but you know you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
So whenever it was like smoking real bad, like it was like, all right, I gotta pull over. I'll pull over, turn the car off for 3 minutes, and start it back up.
That's real. That's really
You know
real.
what's so embarrassing?
What?
I went with Flo. It was Flo and Dante at the time.
Okay.
I was with them. We were
Oh my God,
hanging
Dante.
all day. Oh, have you met Dante?
No, but I know the stories you told me.
So we so I can say you guys are true friends if you guys are watching this. They were like they were really nice. Those are
you
my
two friends? Okay,
Yeah,
why?
They were real nice because my car started smoking with them in the car and they didn't care. They didn't say anything. Like you know.
So you're
like,
saying they're real for
like,
not saying
they're real. I said, "Oh, I gotta pull over, and then we'll go to AC." Girl, I was at Bamboo. I was at Bamboo.
In Mace Landing?
Yes.
You had to go to Atlantic City?
I forgot where we go before that, but we were at Bamboo because it smoked so bad. I had to pull over. So we just sitting in Bamboo. We're sitting for like 15, 20 minutes just talking, and then we drove all the way to Atlantic City. I can tell you, this car was a Plan A and B car. It was never a C or a D. So it needed a little break.
Right. She needed a little
But
air.
they did not say nothing about the car. They didn't laugh, nothing.
So they're just probably on their phones, like just waiting.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. If I was in somebody's car like that,
You would have been like,
I would have been like, girl, I'll call the Uber. Like, you want to tell? So I could say like, oh my god.
so they were like, we're gonna mind our business.
Yes.
Because how old were you?
girl.
Because when you're so young and you just want to ride, I felt that.
Okay, I'm 25 now. Okay.
This was like right after high school, right?
Yeah, this was college.
You're probably like 18,
This was college.
19.
No, not even. I would say my sophomore year of college.
Yo, and
So
they
I
just
was,
sat there
like
like
21 or 20, like late 20, like
And they
turning
sat
20.
there, it's just
just
like-
sat there was like, you know.
that's real.
But then probably because they didn't have cars at the time.
That's what I'm saying. Because when you don't have a
No,
car,
but you know, I
you'll
can't-
appreciate a ride.
No. I wouldn't say
That way
that.
was smoking.
I wouldn't say that because my husband, when I first met him, his car, I was popping so much trash I didn't even believe that was his car.
You're popping what?
Trash about his car. I didn't even know it was his car. So I guess I would not say like, oh, because if you don't have a car, you're more appreciative, for a ride. No, that was not my case. I humbled the heck out of him.
That's
When
crazy.
Yes. He parked far away from my house, and we were with another friend at the time. We're not friends with that person.
Okay.
So this is like our first time like actually hanging out, and we were just friends. And like he had like a Dodge, a 1999 Dodge.
1999.
Yes.
Woo.
And it was ashy. It had like a bad
I would love to know the
paints.
mileage on that car.
I don't even know.
The mileage is probably
It had
crazy.
bad like spots on it. And it was ashy. Like if I threw lotion, that thing wasn't surviving. And then like it's like the front of the car had like a tongue. It looked like a tongue.
Ooh.
And then like there was some nice cars around. I was like, "Where's your car? Like, why are we still walking?" He was like, "Oh, it's over there." I was like, "It better not be this hoopty doop right here, this asteroid car."
And it was very much.
So then he walked up. So he started walking farther away from it to another car, acting like it was his car. I said, "That's not your car because we're not in the car. Where's your car?" When he showed me that,
You said.
I was popping trash about it before we even got in the vehicle. Before I even knew that was his vehicle. You know how bad I felt?
You were like this Humpty Dumpty, and he's like unlocking it.
Your first car will humble you. Do not judge people off of what they
Girl.
can afford and what they have. What was your first car?
My Volvo S60, bitch, every week it was a fucking problem.
What? I never met you with a Volvo.
Because I hadn't, because it was around the time I was with my ex.
Oh.
So yeah. Well, technically my first car was the Honda Odyssey, the white Honda Odyssey. My mom, because that was like,
That's a van, right? But that's
she used
good.
it for her business,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. But
But she
Hondas
gave
are
it to me,
good.
yeah. But then like I got into a nasty car accident.
Oh.
Like I was driving, someone rear-ended the fuck out of my car, so it got totaled. So that's when I was tired of my mom being like, "This is all your fault," like treating me like shit.
But
so
did
that's
your
when
insurance pay for the car?
it was my mom's insurance. Like remember, I
But
was
they
so
would have
young.
paid her for it. So
But that car was so old, girl. They literally was like, "We'll cut you a check or whatever."
it wasn't much of a check.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's what. But like either or, you know how Hispanic or that community. They're fine.
It's not even just Hispanic. When I
That's
tell
what I'm saying. Because you
whenever
Haitian,
do-
girl.
Whenever you do anything that's not even wrong, like you got a bag of like your like her insurance,
Right.
they'll make you feel like the worst person on the earth.
Don't make it feel like you stomped on a baby.
I'm gonna say with my mom's accent, this Honda Odyssey was surviving way before you, and now all of a sudden you put your feet in the vehicle, and now it's not working. It's not working. Ever since you touched the vehicle, I had this vehicle since you was born, and now it don't work. It don't work.
Right.
What this check gonna do, huh?
Right.
Is it gonna bring my Honda back? No.
That's my mom, and she's Hispanic.
And then why they make you feel bad? Like I didn't cause this. Like even if we do cause,
You want to know the crazy story behind that story? Well, the crazy thing behind that story was the fact that when I got into that car accident, that was my first car accident ever.
Oh my gosh.
So I was literally 5 minutes away from my ex, and I texted her. I was like, "Can you please come to me? I'm scared." Because, like, when I tell you the car in front of me, the car behind me, like, rear-ended the fuck out of me that I hit the car in front of me. They had a bike rack. So all I saw was glass shatter all over my thing. So I was like, I'm here thinking my glass shattered on me. So I'm, like, shaking, like, oh, my God. To the point where there was, like, a line of cars. They're like, move. But I'm, like, shaking. And this old man is like, can you move? And I couldn't even speak. And he was, like, rubbing my arm, like, trying to talk me through because I was so scared. Aww. So I called my ex. And I said, my sister, we were in an argument. We didn't talk for 2 months. And I called her. She was 30 minutes away from me. She made it there within 10 minutes.
See, one thing
but you want to know what's crazy? That my mom was 30 minutes she was 5 minutes away from me, and she made it there an hour.
What was she doing?
She was fucking like talking shit with the church. She was like, this fucking bitch was out here like on the streets, and that's why she got into a car accident. I'm like,
I don't know what it is with parents, yo, and in the church groups, but I don't know why they got them in a chokehold. They don't care how they're gonna like.
We could be starving, but the church gonna have it better than us.
The church gotta go first. The church gotta go first.
And then they wonder why their kids don't fuck with them.
I understand God go first, but like sometimes I feel like I don't know why. I feel like when my mom was like a real church goer, like all the time, like now she goes like here and there, but like she would always put them first before us.
Always.
And it's just like, Miss, you birthed me, like,
but like, Mom, I'm starving. I need new shirts.
Like yeah, but like the church went first. The church went first. And it's like, you know, I give God first, but the church. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, not all church people are great.
It'd be the ones that go to church religiously that like scream God, God, God are the ones that are like very side-eye. I feel
like a lot of people will say they're Christian and stuff like that to make like so people could trust who they
want to trust you. They think you have integrity when you don't. It's interesting.
You know, now what I notice around this generation nowadays, church is not how it used to be.
Oh no,
church is not how it used to be.
I like the church that you invited me to. I really like that one. I like that one. We need to go.
I've been going there for years.
Because the one we met at, girl.
But the church I've been to, like I've been going for years. Like, you know, I also attended the one we go to, but I've been there for years. Like even before I even thought of the church we went to.
Right.
Even before I seen the church bus.
Right.
That church.
It's amazing. I feel so welcome whenever I go there. It's really
They're
nice.
always welcoming.
But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up everything for today's podcast episode.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for listening or watching. If you are listening to this on Spotify, make sure to give it a 5 stars rating.
5 stars.
Yes, we got to keep these lights on, girl. We got to keep these lights on.
The lights is on. Keep it on. Keep it on.
And if you're watching this on the YouTube podcast channel, you're looking at our beautiful selves, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, and make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And make sure if you want, like, comment down below if you want to see Vanessa again. I really do feel like the audience is going to love you.
Like, was this the whip or was this the nene? Like, remember back in the day?
This is the whip.
Oh,
the nene is this.
When you said drop, when you said drop below, I was like this. I was like,
you went.
I forgot what kind of day this is.
You said this is the nene. Can you imagine? This is the nene. Yeah. But yeah, comment down below if you want to see more of Vanessa and have more. We could do pop culture episodes.
Okay.
We can gossip about pop culture, just so much. Talk about your college experience. I know you got stories,
Y'all
girl.
don't
I know. I love hearing people's college
Man,
experiences.
y'all want to hear that.
I lived through other people who went through college.
You
I didn't
do
go.
not want to hear that.
I cannot wait.
If I talk about it, I might get in trouble.
But that's what we love. That's the Rehinged Diaries podcast for. We're unfiltered. But yeah, that is everything. I love you guys so much. And I cannot wait to see you guys in the next podcast episode.
Bye.
Bye-bye.